All right, ladies and gentlemen, Brent Fikowski in the blue corner.
Connor's not far behind.
Yeah, it's pretty close. 19 seconds to finish that first ramp.
Follow Brent here.
And he's up. And bam, where's the Dudmeister? Connor's 2 reps behind.
Catch him back up.
Are you? What are you doing?
Who's
Go,
gonna kick
go,
up?
go.
Come on, Brent. Oh, my God. Who's going to win?
He's up.
Who's
He's
going
on
to
his
win?
hand.
Hey.
What's the strategy on a little burner like this?
Like my strategy is just to try to push the pace a bit and kind of see where that line is and maybe go a little past what's comfortable and see if that works out.
Dudmeister.
Hey.
What's your strategy on this one, big dog?
It's all about the dumbbell for me. So focus on like staying balanced and a good lockout overhead. And then if I can get through that, I'm not too worried.
So the workout was... Where is it? Lost it. You have it?
Go ahead.
All right. Handstand walk obstacle course. Stairs first, 20 feet over that way, and then 20 feet over back with the ramp first. Then 3 or 2 legless rope climbs. Then back to the handstand obstacle, ramp first, then stairs first, then 10 dumbbell squat snatches at 100 or 70 alternating, and then 1 final pass through the handstand obstacle, stairs first, and then back over the ramp. Once you get over that last handstand obstacle, bam, that is your time.
Yeah, so as grindy as that one was in the morning, this one's just kind of higher skill, faster turnover.
Heavier.
It's not really something that's going to beat them down as much.
Hey, you bald motherfrickers. You ain't got no continental clothes, no Stetson hat, and you didn't tell me about this morning workout yet. Hit it.
We had the guys do 70 cows in the row, the girls do 60 cows in the row. They would progress into 50 hand release push-ups and 100 air squats. The hand release push-ups, I gave them the standard that when they took their hands off the floor, they had to touch just to make it a little bit more shitty. Standard for the hand release push-ups. You're gonna touch the back of your head behind your ears.
Oh,
Behind your ears. Okay, so the rep starts at the bottom with my hands on my head. The rep ends at lockout at the top. So
are the ears defined as the head?
So if I break after my last one, come here. Step here, break for a second. I have to go back down. Hands go back behind my head, behind my ears, back into my next rep.
Yeah.
You just made this up, right?
I made that up just because I was trying to. What we're trying to do with our on-site is we're trying to make sure that they are working on their turnover speed and their rep cadence, making that as fast as possible, just because it can be such a separation. Yeah. But we're also trying to make sure that we're holding them to a tight standard when it comes to something like hand release push-ups. Where do your hands go? Something like air squats. Are you opening your hips up all the way at the top? So trying to create standards that actually like forces those constraints on them so that we don't have to be running around like bandits with heads cutting off saying no rep, no rep, no rep.
Yeah.
So something like that, it makes the workout awful, but it also makes it really clear that you're taking your hands off
bandits?
the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
bandits.
I'm going to wear about bandits last night.
I'm going to wear a bandit bandana and go around
Or
it.
chickens,
wear bandanas?
but not bandits.
Chicken bandit.
Isn't that
Chicken
where
bandits
bandana
are like,
comes from?
Is it?
What?
I'm gonna sound stupid. I'm gonna just take that thought back. That was an inside thought that I let out.
Throw it out and then bring it back in.
Hold on. I just forgot. What were we talking about?
Bandits.
CrossFit.
No, the workout.
Yeah.
I had something other productive to say other than
when I picture bandits, it's people running around all crazy because they're trying to rob like
oh yeah, they do. They
stuff.
wear bandanas over their face so they wouldn't be recognized.
You're right. Chris is wrong.
No,
I don't know
no,
what he's
but with
talking
their
about.
heads cut off?
No, you can't be. Oh, you couldn't run around. We're not chickens. I think if you cut humans head
I
off,
think he meant
just
chickens. It's okay.
All right, run around crazy with our heads cut off.
Oh, one of the other things that we're trying to do. Yeah, that triggered a like CrossFit thought.
I love
Thank
where this is
God.
going.
Yeah. When you get a workout and you can test it. So we should get the semifinal tests 7 days out from the first one, 14 days out from the second, and you have time to practice it. You have the ability to understand like where your limits are and where you can take risks. Sometimes in training, we just give them a workout. They haven't seen it before. They saw it the day before. They look at it in their training and they do it. So sometimes in training, we try to encourage them to like, hey, this is going to be a time for you to push the pace and just take a risk. And if it blows up on you, like it doesn't matter, it's training.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're coaching them to say like, hey, here's the bottleneck of the workout. Let's not blow up before we get to that part and take the risk.
Yeah, there's a difference between optimizing for a training stimulus and optimizing for a score. If anybody sees that, they see the row and the echo bike, they're all right, I'm just going to do this at like 1,100, 1,200 calories per hour. I'm going to try and sprint on this other stuff. Or I'm going to hit the Echo bike at 60 to 65 RPMs. I'm going to try and sprint after that.
Yeah.
I told them, let's try and take a little bit more of a risk on that. Let's try and make sure that we are pushing the limits and then still being able to hold the turnover speed after that.
Yeah. And it's good practice, I think, for confidence too, because if you get to a semifinal and let's say you're one spot out from qualifying and the workout comes out and the only thing you can do is try to win the workout to make it in and get your spot.
Yeah.
You're going to take the more aggressive pace.
Yeah.
You're not going to be
Yeah.
like, oh, I'll just like hang out and be conservative and just let it go to chance. Like you're going to take the risk if you're competitive and you want that spot. So I think it's good to practice that mentality sometimes.
Yeah. It's knowing if the risk is going to be worth it or not. You kind of have to, like, in order to have that confidence, you kind of had to have done it a couple of times before.
Yeah.
And so that's why we try and encourage people to do that on site. Do you have any video about how it all went?
Do you have video
Do you
about
have
that
video of
workout?
I have clips of the workout
So
that
when
they
I-
will be
when I-
watching currently.
So they did that in the morning, and then we also did a short, very high skill gymnastics piece as the second morning piece, which we're going to watch a full video breakdown of. Is that this video?
That is this video.
Obviously, if you all are doing this at home, pretty high skill movements. So for most people, it's like pace accordingly. Take your time. Do the handstand obstacle. Take a shakeout. Take like 3 deep breaths before doing the next one. I'm gonna try not to breathe the whole time. So let's see.
You just said you're going to try to push it like
Push the pace a bit and kind of see where that line is, and maybe go a little past what's comfortable and see if that works out. Push past my comfort zone. So instead of being like, oh, I got to rest for this handstand walk, be like, you're probably fine.
is that something you practice doing a lot, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I mean, that's always that's training, right? It's a combination of like listening to yourself and then testing to see if that inner voice is correct.
Yeah. And to the newish competitor, how do you practice the balance of like starting to do that? Any advice on that?
Yeah, I would say for a new competitor who struggles to like figure out where that is, I would say it starts with basically a post-workout evaluation. And then tracking sort of just like roughly trends. So if you always find yourself saying, man, if I started a little slower, I probably would have went faster. Or man, I really blew up after 2 minutes. Then it's like, okay, in the next workout, we need to start slower than is like the norm or what feels comfortable.
Yeah.
Or if you're someone who's like maybe your instinct is to be a little more tentative, a little more cautious, and you're like, man, I feel like I waited too long. Or if you look back, you go, I haven't went to failure or failed a set. I'm always able to hit the sets I want to hit. And it's like, well, maybe instead of doing sets of 5 on toes to bar, you got to start doing sets of 6 with the same rest and start pushing that. But if you're always like, oh, I'm doing 5s, then it breaks down to 2s, then let's go to 4s.
Do you think a lot of people are stuck being comfortable?
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
I think most CrossFitters are usually the other way around.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're someone who does CrossFit quite regularly, you're probably a little crazy.
Yeah.
And so you're probably going to be aggressive. And I think most CrossFitters, if I'm speaking generally, probably start too hard.
Got it.
And probably go too fast too soon, and then take really big breaks later, as opposed to taking short, intelligent breaks early and just trying to maintain that.
Are you going to try to race this or play your own game?
He's pretty good at all of it. I'm gonna try to race just to see what happens, but
Well, give us a little background on the Dudmeister. Adam, you coach him, right?
Dudmeister. Connor the Dudmaster Duddy.
My nickname.
Everybody loves him, right?
I don't know if I've ever called this to him to his face, but he's like the unassuming savage. This guy, he's so soft-spoken. He's so even keel. He's very thoughtful and methodical when it comes to things. He has probably some of the best movement quality I've ever seen. Squat patterns, overhead patterns, everything is just super dialed in, super crisp. So he's a games level athlete. I think that I honestly, I really like his chances this year. I know the East is going to be really stacked, but he's been training really well.
Yeah.
Again, the unassuming savage.
Yeah. He's just a quiet dude.
He's so quiet, but he also he'll rip your throat out for the workout.
He's competitive.
You shaking out the haters?
yeah, exactly. I got to get all the bad juju out.
What are you doing?
It just helps me loosen up my wrist.
The shake is part of it?
Yeah.
Nice.
It is part of it. I don't know where I found it, but it works.
Nice.
And I just stuck with it.
Is that how to Duddy?
Had to shake it off.
How to Duddy? Hold on, teach us. Do it one more time.
What, this?
Do the thing you were just doing.
Or the shake?
Yeah, teach us.
So I just go, this is stretch and this is shake. And you just go back and forth. The hand that's not stretching is the hand that's shaking. and you just kind of do a bunch of different angles.
You're not really understanding.
Man, everybody loves you.
Hey, hey, teach me how to plug it, hey. They be like, Smooth, what? Can you teach me how to Dougie? You know why? Cause all the girls love me, hey. All I need is a beat that's super bumpin', and for you to back it up and dump it, get it.
Teach me how to Doug, teach me how to Doug, teach me how to Doug, teach me how to Doug.
Everybody love me, everybody love me. Everybody love me. You ain't messing with my Dougie.
Teach me how to Doug. Teach me how to Doug. Teach me how to Doug. Teach me how to Doug.
Everybody love me. Everybody love me. Everybody love me. You ain't messing with my Dougie.
Swag into it. Swag.
I don't know how to swag in this position.
Hufflepuff.
And as they were warming up, Tom got his first over the ramp.
That was another
handstand walk.
moment where he blew my mind.
My family was in town visiting for Easter, and Thomas, my nephew, has spina bifida, and they're getting ready to think about trying to get him a wheelchair. He is always going to have constraints around his lower body, so he can use a walker sometimes. He has braces that he puts on his ankles where he can walk around unaided. But there's always going to be limitations on the kinds of things that he can do physically. Sarah, my sister, has been doing an amazing job of trying to get him more involved in sports. So they've tried triathlons, they've tried wheelchair basketball, they've tried baseball options. He's hard-headed and he knows what he wants, and he hasn't necessarily found something that's stuck yet. And so it's just like this journey of, like, you do this with any kid. Like, I'm still doing it with my kids. You throw a bunch of crap at the wall and you hope something sticks. But I told her that there was somebody on site that has, like, the CrossFit champion in this seated hip, and she's like, Tommy Oscar? Like, she knew before I said anything.
Awesome.
And I was like, yeah, it is Tommy Oscar. Do you guys want to come and watch? And they're like, can we come watch? And I was like, absolutely. So we set it all up. We tried to time it where they can come and watch Tom's workout. And Tom pretty much did the workout as it was written. He didn't do the obstacle just because he hadn't had a lot of, like, practice with it. Not because he can't do it, because he clearly did it.
Yeah.
Unbroken handstand walk, he did it with a pirouette. He did the rope climbs. He did a heavy dumbbell snatch in his chair. The look on Thomas, my nephew's face, watching Tom, like, literally get up out of his wheelchair and then walk on his hands was, like, the most, like, it was astoundment, but it was also like this, like
inspiration,
joy, right?
Yeah.
Like, look at what this guy can do. Look at what this guy can do. And, like, it removes any sort of barriers that he has about himself also. And, like, just like, man, look at what is possible now. And so he watched Tom do that whole workout. And I think Sarah posted a picture on her Instagram of Thomas, like, with his hands over his mouth, like, just in just pure astonishment. And then later that night, after they left the gym and they went back home, this is how you tell with a kid, like, when it really sticks. Like, they let it simmer for a little bit, but it's still in their heads. So they get back home, they get back to our house, and he's asking Sarah, my sister, can you hold my feet while I practice my handstand walks?
That's awesome.
And it's just like, this is everything good about CrossFit. It teaches you that, you know, if somebody else can do this, it's something that I can do too. It's just like everything good about the community.
I got angels. I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That made me a little emotional.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
All right, let's go watch the workout. We're going to watch Brent Fikowski and Connor Duddy.
3, 2, 1.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Brent Fikowski in the blue corner with no shirt coming up over the ramp. He's got a little bit more speed here. Ooh, he's already got a lead. He's almost over the line. That took 7 seconds. He's back, one breath, back up. They're tied right now, coming over the ramp.
Connor's not far behind.
Yeah, it's pretty close. What are you adding here, Adam? All right, and they finished 19 seconds to finish that first ramp.
Follow Brent here.
Great aggressive transition.
Yeah, great transition. We don't know what Connor's doing because our cameraman failed us.
I think he's climbing the rope over there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was climbing the rope.
Two,
Stays
three.
nice and close.
Ooh, that's
nice
a
high
quick
jump up
transition.
there. I mean, he's really taking advantage of his height. The big, tall leg swings at the top really help him out a lot here.
Ooh, good speed. Good transition. Last one. Good swings there.
Oh, and he
Still
makes the
technical.
touch.
Oh, and he makes the final touch. And now he's back
Nice,
back
fast
to the
descent.
ramp.
Back to the ramp.
So
Ramp
this transition
first.
again with confidence,
This is
especially
3,
going into the
2,
ramp.
1.
And he's up. And
Bam.
where's the Dudmeister? The Dudmeister's
Wow, he's
close
taking a
behind.
sweet time.
Maybe like 6 seconds behind right
Yeah,
now.
we're
Connor,
about-
let's go, dude. What are you
he's
doing?
catching up. Are we commentating or fanning? Brent's over the line at 1 minute. He's got to come back. Where's he going?
All right, Connor's over.
There he is.
All right, see if we can buy some time with this transition.
Oh, my
so
God.
this
Connor,
is
a
go.
little bit of a stall there from Brent. So Connor closed the gap just a touch here.
Yeah, so Connors is still looking pretty good
Brent's over the line.
those over those stairs. And now
So
this
he's
is
3 seconds behind now.
we got 10 dumbbell snatches and 2 ramps left. First rep, nice and solid. Brent looks pretty tight there. Connor's 2 reps behind to start this. And they're both cycling this pretty smooth.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
great
right.
positions here. Great
We're almost
positions.
there.
Keep it nice and close,
Think
way
we
up
got
and down.
5 more reps left here for Brent. Or maybe 3 more. I lost count already. What kind of announcer am I losing count here?
Here they go. Here they go.
All
I
right.
think Brent's got 2 left.
Yep, that's 8,
Cycle
9,
speed's a little bit faster than Connor.
10. And here
This
is
is
Brent
10.
finishing his last
so
rep.
this is Connor.
Drops
This is
the
9.
dumbbell.
Connor's 10th.
Bam.
Shaking out
Walking
the
over,
arms.
shaking the shoulders.
Okay, here comes Connor.
So this
He's
transition,
hustling this
how confident
transition.
are
He's
you?
catching
How
back
confident
up.
Are you?
What are you doing?
Who's
Go,
gonna kick
go,
up?
go.
Come on, Brent.
There
All right,
it
and
is.
Brent's up for his last. Connor's
Connor's up.
right behind.
Pretty much get to the stairs at the same time.
This first
Oh my
one,
gosh.
They're
ooh,
over
Connor's
together,
speed's a little
hand by
bit
hand.
faster now.
Who's going to turn around faster?
Ty,
Ty, yeah.
2:16. Ooh,
Oh,
Donnie
the
right back
ramp
up.
champ!
Oh my
The
God,
ramp
who's
champ!
gonna win?
He's up,
Who's
he's
gonna
on his
win?
hands, he's
Connor's
going
got the lead. Connor just took over in the end of the
my
workout.
God, Brent's stalling a little bit on the ground. Oh my gosh.
They be like, smooth, what? Can you teach me how to Dougie? You know why? Cause all bitches love me, hey. All I need is a beat that's super bumpin'. And for you, back it up and dump it. Put your arms out front, lean side to side. They gon' be on you when they see you hit that Dougie, right? Ain't nobody fucking with my bro from on the side. He go by Bubba and he hit that dance like thunder.
Figured out what you're gonna do with my wrist thing. You're probably gonna put it to that song and make it look like I'm dancing, right?
How'd you know?
That just took a little bit of thinking. I've watched enough of your videos. I get your gist. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see what you can do with it.
Teach me how to Dougie, teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie, teach me how to Dougie. All my bitches love me, all my bitches love me. All my bitches love me, you ain't fucking with my Dougie. Oh, it's what you do to me. Oh, it's what you do